There we go. We had about 40 kids start term one, and we're happy to have you guys here too. And things have been going well with them. And you're all in the Slack. So we'll add you to your respective schools to get to know some of those students as well. But we're really happy to have you here. And just so you get an idea, you'll hear from each of us and learn from our team, as well as Matt in here in a moment. And then we'll just talk about some of our expectations for the remote program, ways that you can be successful in this program with both your internships and getting to know one another. And then open up to any questions. We'll have you introduce yourselves after our team introduces ourselves. So again, welcome. And without further ado, I'm going to pass it over to our founder, Matt Meltzer, to give you a little bit more about SageCore.
Thanks, Jacob. Hi, everyone. Great to see you all. I know it's not exactly in the context that we would have hoped for the summer, but this is the new normal, and even in a post-COVID world, you may well be working at companies that are distributed across cities and countries and continents. SageCore is, behind my kids and my wife, the number one thing I do in my life. I, once upon a time, was a college grad, went to University of Pennsylvania, graduated with honors and no job. And that was really frankly, an incredibly difficult thing for me and my family to face and look at, right? Spending all this money going to this school and thinking, oh, if you just get good grades, that jobs will come to you. And that just was not the case at all. I packed a bag and flew down to South America. Sort of I don't know, the cliche movie Going to Find Yourself, oh, he's lost type thing. Honestly, I had no idea where I was going to go or what I was going to do and how it was going to help me. But it did. It completely changed my career trajectory, ultimately changed my life. In my case, I went on to become a lawyer representing Latin American clients as a fluent Spanish speaker, all because of this experience and skill set that I developed working abroad. I worked at an early stage newspaper in Argentina and taught English to corporate executives. And years later, still found myself thinking back to this amazing work abroad experience that I had. And wanted to pay it forward. And so we started SageCore in 2013 to connect students with early stage companies around the world who are trying to tackle real problems and build solutions. We've done 700 students since then from over 100 different universities. Our alumni have gone on to work at some of the top companies on the planet. You will get to hear from and talk with many of our alums this summer. We're going to be doing weekly events, which Jacob will run through shortly and explain that stuff. But I think, as I experienced firsthand back in 2003 and 2004, even though you're sitting at home and working remotely, the opportunity to work with companies, and for those of you who are going to be working with companies overseas. And I know logistically right now to do it remotely, it's a little bit more complicated with the time zones, let's say, and some other things. But that extra effort you will put in will be more than worth it. The value that you can get even remotely working with people in different cities, different countries, different cultures is invaluable. And statistically speaking, nobody else does it. So you're talking about 0.1% of all college students get this sort of experience. And working at a startup, as you'll see, can be taxing, can be high pressure. The good news is you're going to get to shine, and you're not going to be anonymous. Your work's going to matter. You're going to have an impact, and you're going to make a difference. But it's what you make of it. And as I did many years ago, and as we've seen 700 students before you, the most successful students in this program are those who put in the effort and take the initiative and are proactive and think about what is it that I can do right now and tomorrow, to contribute. And those are the students who are going to come out of this in the best position. So with that, I'll kick it back over to the team. I am thrilled that you all are here. We're here anytime if you have a problem or a question or any sort of issue, whether it's with your company or otherwise. Please reach out to us. We can't solve any problems we don't know about. So, and we also would love to celebrate your wins with you, all the cool things we know you're going to be doing. So, please look at us as a resource, reach out anytime. And I look forward to getting to work with all of you this summer.
Awesome. Thanks, Matt. I know he left us out, but, Matt told you his story of going down to South America, and, he considers himself the first Sage Core Fellow, and now you're joining a program with over 700 fellows, and you'll be part of the alumni community at the end of this as well, and be part of that group. So it's important that you know who you're working with. To each of you, one of our faces should look familiar. I said this last time, I'll make the same joke, but if one of these faces is not familiar, you're probably in the wrong Zoom. Head out. But, you've been working with one of our programming team members since you've joined, going through the portal, going through the resume edits, and helping you out with the matching process. And so we'll introduce ourselves now, but like Matt and like yourselves, I'm actually an alum of Sage Core as well. I went to Buenos Aires in 2014, and I worked with a digital marketing startup that worked with Latin American professionals. And similarly to Matt, the experience of honing my Spanish language skills while working abroad and managing cross-cultural communications and different responsibilities and being tasked with real work was a changing experience for me. I graduated in 2016 from University of Michigan, where I studied business and Spanish. I went on to work in consulting for a little bit. Didn't really like that. I like startups way more, and partly through my Sage Core experience. And then I went and joined DoorDash and worked in strategy for a bit before joining Sage Core team full time. I couldn't get away from the abroad experiences and startups and giving back. And so I'm happy to speak with any of you at any point about any of my career paths, whether it's consulting, strategy at a growth startup, or otherwise. So feel free to reach out and ask me about those experiences, but mostly looking forward to helping you all have a successful summer in this remote program and making sure you grow professionally and personally in the ways you would like. So I'll pass it over to Megan to introduce herself to the rest of you all.
Hey everybody, good to see you here virtually. Just to give a little background about me, I went to University of Illinois at Urbana-Champaign. I'm from the Chicagoland area, from the suburbs. I live downtown now, and I graduated with a marketing and international business degree. I did study abroad and stuff in college, but kind of knew that that wasn't the end of the story for traveling for me, because I got such a great experience doing that and going abroad. So I ended up moving to Ecuador after I graduated for 6 months. Worked for a startup there, a travel startup that brings students to Ecuador. And so, yeah, I loved it. And then I came back and I was working for University of Chicago for a bit. But I just loved the nature of startups and how quickly things move and how I can make a real impact at the company. So decided to head over to Sage Core, and I've loved my experience there and love that we've been working with a lot of great students, including you guys, to get you matched at startups. Obviously, wish we could help you go abroad, but hey, we can help you in the future if you're interested in going on other programs to head abroad. But yeah, looking forward to seeing all your great progress and stuff this summer. If you need our help or my help or anything in particular, you're always welcome to reach out to any of us, whether I'm your program lead or not. So then off to Sarah.
Hi everyone, I'm Sarah. I also went to the University of Illinois and studied communication and psychology. I was an intern at Sage Core headquarters, doing marketing going into my senior year, and then after graduating I came on full time, so switched a bit from marketing to more program management, working with students. So like Jacob and Megan, I'm excited to keep working with you all this summer and help you get meaningful work experience, and to get to know you all better too.
Awesome. Thanks, Sarah. Moving on. Liz, you want to talk about what you do?
Yeah, nice to meet everybody. Really glad. I've never met any of you all before. I am the marketing lead. I did my undergrad at Vanderbilt, and then I actually was part of the like their first post-grad program with SageCore and Experience Lab. So I actually went abroad to Dublin, worked there for 3 months last year, and kind of did a lot of post-grad work. I worked for a startup that did fintech solutions. And so after I finished the program, I was brought on here in Chicago to the SageCore team. So I love the work I do with startups, love getting the chance to know and meet you students. I don't know if we'll have much interaction, but if you all ever need any like tips, if you're doing marketing for your startup or just want to talk to me, I'd love to share and help as well, and might reach out throughout the summer.
Awesome. Yeah. As Matt mentioned, we want to share your wins. And so, you may be working with Liz on sharing some of those wins so we can let the world see how well you're doing. And then Sam, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi everyone, I'm Sam. I am a fellow. I did the program last summer. I was in Dublin. I interned for an urban mobility startup company. I was business development and I was involved in pretty much every decision. It was me, my manager, and the CEO. So like a lot of you, I had really up close personal work with the executive team and just the day-to-day operations. One of the coolest things that I like to mention was that I did a lot of field research. So I was literally out on a street corner, like talking to anyone that would talk to someone with a clipboard, which is quite the feat in and of itself. And I ended up saving the company close to $2 million in production cost just by the questions that I got answered and the research and everything about that. So that was a really cool experience. I can barely get through a conversation without bringing up Dublin, and I can definitely not get through a professional interaction or an interview without people talking about SageCore, and I'm confident you guys will also have the same experience. You'll be hearing a lot from me. I run a lot of the events, so I will be bombarding you with a bunch of Slack messages and Google invites, and if you ever need anything, I am here to chat.
Awesome. Thanks, Sam. I think it's important. One takeaway there is, Sam did this program recently. She just shared direct impact she had with the startup she worked with. And all of you are going to have that opportunity as well, but it's on your shoulders in some way to step up and ask the right questions of your managers, of your company leadership, to understand what you can do to be successful and how you can help solve challenges for them at your company. So, like Matt said at the jump, you get out of this what you put into it to some extent. The companies are small, so it's not going to be someone giving you a task always and you just working to the task. There's always more to be done. More is always encouraged, and that's the startup life, and you'll see that as you get deeper into your companies. So keep that story in mind, keep that perspective in mind as you sit and think, how can I make an impact? How can I, leave this summer with a professional takeaway like that, so that when you go into whatever interview is next, you can talk about how you saved your startup X money or brought them new customers, brought them new revenue, et cetera. So part of the reason you're doing this program, we've talked about the alumni already, is what's next, right? This helps set you apart in the job market as you want to move forward in your career. Some of you, are going into senior year, maybe we'll be considering some of these industries as career paths, whether it's consulting or banking. We have alumni that have gone into that, into those fields. But you can see here, as Matt said, our alums go and work at some of the best companies in the world. And these are alums that you'll have the opportunities to speak with this summer. I mean, just last week, Dalvin was sitting on a panel with our Term 1 students talking about his experience both at Facebook and as an alum, and then now as a software engineer at Stitch Fix. And you can see here, these brands are companies that you all might have aspirations to work for one day. Just the ones on this list. And then obviously our alums work for a handful of other companies as well. So the stat you see here, right, 93% of our alums have full-time jobs within 3 months of graduation. It's an important statistic because part of the reason you do this program is to set yourself up professionally. And we hope that you'll achieve similar outcomes and similar success by being a part of this. So, something that's important is to understand a little bit more of these stories of these alums and what they did to be successful and how they set themselves up for their careers so that you can put yourselves in a similar position. This story is one that I actually know well. Mike Justice was in my cohort in Buenos Aires. Funny story. We are in the airport in Atlanta, about to fly down to Buenos Aires. I'm from the suburbs of Detroit. There's a kid sitting at the airport wearing a Detroit Red Wings jersey. I'm like, this kid has to be doing the program. Like, there's no way some other kid from Michigan is flying down to Buenos Aires in the same flight. We start talking to each other, and he's like, yeah, I'm at Michigan. I'm in the business school. I'm in Ross. I didn't land anything from recruiting for my junior year internship. So I said, screw it, I'll take a risk and go to Buenos Aires to do this program. So he's going into his senior year and decided that he'll do this, foregoing maybe a traditional internship that leads to a full-time job after you're in your junior year summer. And he wanted something that was alternative, that would set himself apart. And so he worked for a company called Cook Gap in Buenos Aires that connected foodies with local chefs. It was actually really cool. You'd go into someone's house and they'd cook a meal for you, and they were like amateur professional chefs. But he did everything from data analyst to digital engagement, customer retention, building strategies. And he leveraged that to a full-time career at Accenture Strategy. And Mike's actually still at the firm. He's been there 5 years. He's had multiple promotions. He's a high riser, high flyer at Accenture Strategy in Chicago. And he's someone who attributes his ability and his career success to Sage Core. Invariably. I mean, you can see the quote there that I can, without a shadow of a doubt, attribute my career success to Sage Core experience that helped me stand out from my peers who followed more conventional paths. A trend that you'll see is, as you work with these companies and have experience at an early stage startup, is as you go into the next steps of your career and start to talk to recruiters and advisors, the experience is going to jump off the page, because you're going to have responsibilities that others in your position haven't had. You're going to have a blurb that says you worked with a company in Africa or in Europe, or, even the ones who are working with companies domestically. You're working with really high growth venture-backed companies that are in need of your support. Mike's just one example of what type of success you can have during the program and afterwards. Another alumni story from Dublin as well is Noah Monheimer. She's also a Penn grad like Matt. And she was worried because she was younger. She was a sophomore and maybe had trouble recruiting. So she did Sage Core as a way to gain professional experience and show that just because she's a sophomore didn't mean that, or just because she just finished her sophomore year doesn't mean she's not capable of making an impact, like some of you who are in this program, maybe just completing your freshman year or sophomore year and realizing that people dismiss you for whatever reason because you don't have the upperclassman status. But Noah worked for a company called Drop Chef, Blue Apron in Ireland, and worked on a variety of marketing and strategic initiatives. And ultimately, after graduating from Penn, got a job at Nike as a procurement analyst. I'm not going to read her quote, but you can see just the types of work that the students do and the impact they have translates directly into a corporate environment and allows you to gain comfort speaking with executives, gain comfort taking on and taking ownership over different action items within your company. And we hope that you'll have similar success stories both at your companies this summer, but ultimately as you graduate from undergrad and go into similar careers that our alums are currently involved in. So we'll jump into a program overview, right? Like, what can you expect from us, what we expect from you. Some of you have already started, which is great. Some of you will start, as I mentioned. Ultimately, here is a word cloud that defines Sage Core in some ways. You see these words like lead, networking, learn, try, improve, knowledge, all these things that embody what it means to be a Sage Core fellow. And you all have access to the modules where you should have gone through, and we can see whether or not you have completed the modules. So if you think that, you're sly by clicking through, we have access to that. So we encourage you to go through them. We know who you are if you haven't, but there's a lot of pertinent information in the student portal for you. But these are some of the frameworks that embody what it means to be a Sage Core fellow. And networking, you'll get experience to talk with some of our alums, some of the ones you see it on the last few slides, and others who have gone on to important careers. Try, understand, growth, all these things are important. It's a startup adage that done is better than perfect. And I think, you think about that and look at some of these words and realize that that's something you can apply to this summer. It means, you don't want to stress about making sure every little detail is correct. You want to put something out in the world, get feedback, iterate, and go and do it again, and grow through that iterative process. So moving forward, right, what can you expect from us this summer? So most of you are already placed, and some of you who aren't, you're in the final stages or talking to companies, and then that's totally normal at this point in time. There's no issue there, but you can expect a full-time internship at a global startup. There's weekly virtual events, as Matt mentioned. Sam will be sharing events that we run through General Assembly where you can build skills. Today, for example, Term 1 students had access to intro to data science, I believe, and there's other events that they run, and we can send out those recordings. But then SageCore, our team will also be curating panels with our alumni for you to get more involved in understand specific industries, understand more alumni stories. So as you see some of these events pop up, as Matt mentioned, reach out to your program lead and let us know if there's something you want to see more specifically. If you're really interested in consulting or banking and you want more events that focus on those things, we need you to let us know so we can talk with our alums and curate more of those events. Conversely, if it's marketing or sales, we can do the same in that way. What you can expect from us is we will respond to you within 48 hours via Slack or email. You all should have received invitation to our Slack workspace. If you don't have that, please reach out to your program lead to make sure you get that. Please join our Slack workspace and make sure notifications are on. Our team uses that, and so we operate via that tool to manage our remote workforce. And so if you have a quick question during the day, it's more, you'll likely hear from us faster over Slack than email potentially, but you all have our email addresses as well. You can expect support from your SageCore program lead. I've already worked with multiple students that have started in term 1 to talk about some of their workflows, help them strategize different conversations with their bosses to take on more responsibility and things like that. So again, as Matt mentioned, you need to be able to speak up to us to let us know how we can help you. And anyone on our team is always willing to hop on a call with you and chat through anything, strategize through anything with you, and make sure that you feel empowered and comfortable to get the most out of this summer. And then lastly, you can expect from us professional growth and the opportunity to contribute meaningful work at a startup. Just by being at the companies you're at and having the roles confirmed, you're already in that position. And those companies we wouldn't be working with them and they wouldn't be working with us if they didn't have a need for you to come in and contribute. So keep that in mind as you I'll get started and get underway. So what we'll be doing from a support perspective, just so you have an idea, is we'll be sending out a weekly check-in form on Mondays that'll go out via email, as well as follow-ups via Slack from your program lead. We hope and expect that you will fill that out by Wednesday of that week. The form is really basic. It just allows us to check in and see how things are going and give you a platform to give us feedback, maybe not as direct, not over a call or Slack, hopefully a comfortable form where you can feel empowered to speak how things are going. It's been effective with our term 1 and students as well. And so we expect and hope that you'll complete that. As I mentioned, the modules, we can see who's completed modules and who hasn't. If you're someone who hasn't completed the How to Work Remotely module yet on the student portal, or you're sitting here saying, what's the student portal? Please reach out to your program lead. Make sure you have access. You all should. You've all been enrolled in the courses. But this is a really important one to complete as you get started at your internships. I mean, there are good tips for how you can make sure you speak up, that you're heard, but how you can also learn things and manage the remote world that is unique. And I think just a quick aside before I run through the bullet points, this is kind of the new normal for everyone. We don't know, especially our team, some of you'll be going back to campus, but our team doesn't know when we'll necessarily be returning to the office. We're managing remote workspace, and that goes for a lot of companies. And so to have had this remote work experience is actually going to be really critical for you all as you navigate your career, and something that you'll be able to talk to with recruiters, as a lot of companies might institute remote work permanently hereafter. And so having this experience sets you up to succeed in those environments in the future. Individualized troubleshooting, like I said, you can reach us through Slack and email. And then obviously we hope that you attend the virtual and professional events, but we'll be there for them, especially the panels that we run. We'll be moderating those and making sure you have opportunities to talk to our alumni. So what do we expect from you, right? That's equally important in this is, we're going to uphold our end of the bargain, and we hope that you uphold your end of the bargain as well as it relates to our expectations. So we expect that you respond to all communications from HQ staff, whether it's via email or via Slack. I think all of you that I've been working with have done a great job thus far, and with Sarah and Megan as well. But our hope is that if we Slack you or follow up about a concern from one of the check-in forms, that you engage in a conversation with us so that we can have a discourse around that. That means we need you to monitor Slack. A lot of your work teams will be using this tool already. So hopefully it's not inconvenient to have more than one workspace open, whether it's the team you're working with and then also the SageCore workspace. But you should monitor those. You can download it on your phone as well and turn notifications on. You can download the desktop app. So you have multiple ways to monitor Slack. We expect that you will attend as many scheduled events as possible. We understand that some will conflict with your work schedules at your companies, and we'll let you know which events are mandatory. But the events are part of the program and part of the benefit and part of why you're here. So it's really for your benefit to attend these, especially the alumni events, especially ones where you'll have the opportunity to talk directly to someone who works in strategy at Accenture or at PwC or in banking at Bank of America. Those opportunities are there for you. So if you aren't going to those panels or attending, and at the end of the summer think, man, I would have really liked to have talked to an alumni, I'm really interested in banking, but you didn't come to any of the banking panels, we can't help you in that regard. These are why they exist. So we expect you to make an effort to attend. And further on that point, if you have a conflicting event, like a conflicting meeting with your company, and you want to attend an event, reach out to your program lead and we can help you draft a message of how you can communicate to that to your startup. Your startups know that we are running events and they know that that's part of the program. So they should have some flexibility in allowing you to attend those to get the most out of the summer. And then, we expect you, like I've already mentioned ad nauseum, clearly communicate any issues with your program lead. If you're having trouble, we need you to speak up when it happens in real time. We can't have you sit for 2 weeks with an issue that's brooding and not communicate to us. And then in 3 weeks come and say, I've been dealing with this problem for a month and SageCore hasn't done anything and blah, blah, blah. We want to be able to help you. So when the issues arise, please come forward and let us know. And then lastly, be respectful of all the others at all times. That goes for everyone that's in this call and in this program. That goes for everyone you're working with. That goes for customers and clients that you'll be facing with on behalf of your company. You need to remember that you are representing ultimately 3 things by taking part in this program. Number one, to some extent, you are representing SageCore. You're interning at your company through SageCore. We've helped facilitate that interaction and that placement. So you're upholding the SageCore brand and the quality of student we have. But probably more important to you guys, the first one's obviously important to us, but important to you all is that you're also representing your universities. And so, you have in your education section on your resume where you go to school, and the work you do is representative of students that go to that school. And you want to uphold the regard that people view University of Michigan and North Carolina and Cornell and the schools that you all go to, and you'll hear from each other about where you go to school shortly. So keep that in mind. And then lastly, you're representing yourself and your personal brand. And that's a reputation that you'll leave behind, and you have the opportunity to get letters of recommendations or referrals from the companies and startups that you're working with. So keeping those 3 things in mind, hopefully will enable you to get the most out of this summer and be respectful of everyone as you navigate the summer. So events. This is what a sample weekly event will look like. We'll drop this in Slack every Monday, and so you'll see the events and how they're going. This is from earlier, obviously, in the session, but you'll have the dates and the events that are going on each week, and you'll have the links to be able to join those Zoom calls, and we will indicate which are mandatory and which are not. We'll also be inviting you to the events via Gmail or via your emails that you have, so you'll get those invitations and can sync them with your Google or iCalendar, whatever you're using. Let us know, let Sam know if you have conflicts or need a recording or anything like that. You can reach out to Sam or your program lead and say, hey, I wasn't able to attend that General Assembly event, but if you have the recording, I'd love to see it, because most of them are recorded as well as this meeting is being recorded for those who weren't able to attend today. So that's the events. And we're looking forward to running those with you and having them be meaningful and more alums and direct contact. So ultimately, coming back to support, right? What does it look like from just like a 3-pronged approach of if you're having trouble? So ultimately, who should you reach out to if you're having anything you need support on? It should be your city leads or your program lead. So that's myself, Sarah, or Megan. You should know who you're working with at this point in time. And the person that's been helping you through matching and through this entire process is who you should go to first. What can you bring up to them? Whether you're having issues at the workplace, whether you feel uncomfortable, overwhelmed, excited, feel like you need more to do, any of those things, workflow support, reach out to us about that, especially event attendance. If you have a conflict, reach out to us and let us know. And then ultimately where, right? Email, Slack, or phone. We'll send out this deck after this presentation, but ultimately you have our contact information here. You have all of our emails, but then also that Calendly link you all can use to book times on our calendar whenever is convenient for you. So if you need 15 minutes to jump on the phone, you need 30 minutes, whatever it is, you can use those links to book times with your program lead and just chat. And for any of you, if you want to talk to any of us about our careers, right, you can also grab time with those links, and I'm happy to chat with you about consulting or DoorDash. Megan can talk. We can both talk to you about, what's it like living and working abroad and things like that. So don't be a stranger. Don't be afraid to leverage the tools you all have. So ultimately, that's it for the presentation. I'm going to stop sharing my screen. You saw questions there quickly. Before we jump in, part of this is that you're all sharing this experience. So we're going to have you all introduce yourself briefly. But before we go into that, are there any questions that anyone has about the program, about any expectations, or anything that you have just general questions on you want answered right now? Cool. We'll leave it there then. So what I will ask is that those of you who are on the call and your camera's turned off, if you have the ability to turn it on now, please do that just so the group can see you. We're going to go around and introduce ourselves. What I want you to include is who you are, where you go to school, what year you are, and then lastly, if you have a placement, if you're working, you can mention that. If it's still being figured out, you can just say, I'm figuring it out. It's no big deal. And then lastly, something you're looking forward to learning, or something that why you're excited to be here and be a part of this program. So fortunately or unfortunately, Zoe, you're the first student on my gallery view.
Awesome.
You'll be kicking it off for the group.
Hi, everyone. I'm Zoe. I'm a rising sophomore at the University of Michigan. I am still in the works of figuring out where I'm going to be placed, and I'm from Pound Ridge, New York. I don't know if that was everything that you said. I kind of just threw in where I'm from.
No, I appreciate where you're from. The last thing is what you all are most looking forward to.
Most looking forward to? Probably just being immersed into a work environment with people who are executives at a startup, and the high energy environment of a startup in general, and just kind of being able to jump right into that. It's very exciting.
Cool. I don't know if we all have the same gallery view, but it's going to be Kate, Noah, and then Sarah.
Okay, I'm Kate. I am a rising senior at Carleton College in Minnesota. I'm from Evanston, Illinois, right outside Chicago. This summer, I'm working with Race Mapper, which is based in Berlin. And I am excited, I guess, to have like an actual application of using an API and data and figuring out how to work with that, and being able to kind of go in the directions that I want to, and be able to like have the power to choose what I'm doing.
Sweet. Noah, you're up. Noah, Sarah, Mary Harder.
Hi, I'm Noah. I'm a rising senior at Brandeis University in Massachusetts. I'm originally from North Jersey. I'm working with GoLogic Solutions, which is based in Chicago, and I'm excited to get started working on my career.
Sweet.
I'm Sarah. I am a rising senior at Arizona State University. I am originally from Buffalo, New York. Go Bills if you like football. I am working this summer with Renzo Box, which is a modern take on a makeup bag, so you don't have a messy makeup bag anymore. So it's really cool. I'm helping their social media coordinator with all of the social media marketing and everything, which I'm super excited about. And what I'm looking forward to most is definitely working with a startup, because I love putting my own ideas into everything that I do, and working with a startup definitely allows me to express my creative side and be heard. So that's definitely what I'm most excited about.
Cool. Thanks for sharing. We will Mary Harder, Jake Herman, Kat.
Hi, I'm Mary. I'm a third year at the University of California in Santa Barbara. Still figuring out where I'm going to be placed. And what I'm most excited for this summer is just to apply all the things that I've been learning in school so far.
Hey, I'm a rising senior in high school. I'm from Chicago, and I'm working for Spotivity. And I guess I'm excited to get my first startup experience. Yeah.
Is it me?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm Kat. I go to Wesleyan University in Connecticut. I'm originally from Georgia. I am working at App Jobs, which is this startup company where they basically compile a bunch of other like DoorDash and Uber Eats and other companies to just get for the gig economy sort of stuff. And I'm working on social media and marketing for them, which I'm excited about. And I'm excited to be able to work for a company, even if it's a start. In fact, especially because it's a startup, because like I'll be able to put my own ideas in there and get really involved in the workflow and the development of the company as a whole, and that'll be really cool.
Awesome. Yeah, it's definitely a common theme, and I think you all enjoy that aspect of being able to speak up and have your ideas be heard and just implement. I think it's important I mention this because a couple have already mentioned it. Another startup adage or cliche is to beg for forgiveness, but not to ask for permission, but to beg for forgiveness. If you have an idea of something that you think could be useful and good, you don't necessarily need to sit around and wait for someone to be like, yes, go do that. You can test. There are avenues for you to test it out, see how it works, come back to your boss and say, hey, I tested this. This is the results I found. The worst thing that happens is they say, oh, that wasn't that useful. And you say, sorry, I found some extra time. But ultimately, it's easier to beg for forgiveness than to wait to go and put your ideas into the companies. So we'll go John, Darian, and then Solomon.
Hey, my name's John. I'm a rising junior at the University of Illinois. I'm studying econometrics. And this summer I'm working at ATCO, which is a consulting startup based here in Chicago. And I'm doing business development. And this summer I'm looking forward to most kind of getting a lot of responsibility within the startup because there are only 3 other people currently employed at the startup. And so I'll have a lot of say in everything that's going on. And I'm also just excited to get some good work experience in.
Awesome. Thanks, John. We'll go John Mathena as well. That was my fault for not clarifying on my screen. It was him, but we'll get both the Johns. We'll go John. Now, John Mathena, you're up, then still Solomon and someone who was there, I think, got bumped. So we'll go John Mathena, Solomon, and we'll just go from there.
All right. I'm John Mathena. I'm a rising senior at Vanderbilt University in Nashville, Tennessee. I'm working with Connect Care Hero in Chicago, and I'm most excited to be working as part of a small, flexible team in a fast-paced environment.
Awesome. Thanks, John. Solomon, Harry, Agnes.
Hi, I'm Solomon. I am a rising senior at Yale College. I'm going to be working at Invisible Technologies this summer, and I'm excited mostly to get some tangible work experience where I can have the opportunity to drive meaningful impact. I feel like I've had jobs where I just kind of like push paper, and so it's a great opportunity to actually do something meaningful, I think. Yeah. Did I miss a question?
No, I think you're good.
Am I the next?
Yeah, Harry, you're up.
Oh, sure. My name's Harry, and I'm a rising junior at the Kelley School of Business, Indiana University, Bloomington. And I will be interning with Renzelbox like Sarah. There's nothing going on wrong. I'd say that I'd like to participate into decision making, and I like to be able to stand out and speak up. That's why I hope to get into a startup company.
Awesome. Thanks, Harry. Agnes, you're.
Yeah, hi everyone. I'm Agnes. I'm a rising senior at Cornell University. My placement is still being figured out, but I'm excited about the networks I'm going to create as a Sage Co-Fellow and the responsibilities that I'm going to be taking on at a startup.
Awesome. Thanks, Agnes. All right. We're going to round out this first screen. So we'll go Brandon, Tanvi, and Oscar, and then.
Okay. Hi, my name is Brandon. I'm a rising junior at Rochester Institute of Technology, and I'm going to be working with InsureFight from Singapore this summer. And I'm really excited to put my skills to good use and then also learn something new from the whole experience.
Hi, I'm Tanvi. I'm a rising junior at Mona College. And I think I'm just super excited. Placement hasn't been decided yet, but I have been talking to like a newspaper company. And I think I'm super excited to do like research and writing of my own and be able to like write about topics that actually interest me.
Awesome. Thanks, Tanvi. Oscar?
Hey, how's it going, guys? My name is Oscar. I go to Northwestern University, and this summer I'm going to be working with Sigway. It's a company in Yangon, Myanmar, and I'm working as a UX design intern, redesigning their new subscription service application. And I'm most excited for the responsibility, the increased responsibility that comes with a startup as compared to, other larger companies, which I started this Monday and I'm already experiencing it. They're giving me a lot of responsibility and I really enjoy it.
Awesome. Thanks, Oscar. All right, there's Darian. You got bumped originally from the first window. So it's going to be Darian, Emma, Alpesh.
Hi, my name is Darian. I'm a rising senior currently attending the University of Michigan, and I'll be interning at Contract Cloud, which is a government contract matching service. And I'm most excited about getting more familiarized with government contracts.
Hi, I'm Emma. I'm a rising senior at the University of Michigan, and I am interning at Spacer doing business development. And I'm most excited not only for the responsibility, but to also be a part of this community and also the community at Spacer and learn from both of them.
Hi, my name's Alpesh. I'm a rising junior at Northwestern University. I'm from the burbs of Chicago, and I'm working at a startup called Spotivity in Chicago, and it's related to youth development and like giving youth in the area who would otherwise not have the opportunity to play sports in an organized setting, the opportunity to do so, which I'm really excited about. That's kind of what I want to do like long term in the future as well, is something related to youth empowerment. So I'm really excited about that.
Awesome. Thanks, Alpesh. Sorry for mispronouncing your name. We'll go Mia, Ben, and Kathy. We still can't hear you, Mia. I don't know what you're unmuted, but we cannot. We will come back
to her.
Yeah. I will introduce you since I worked with you. Ben, you can go.
Hi, I'm Ben. I'm a rising junior at Indiana University. I'm currently an operations intern at Invisible Technologies, and I'm just looking forward to learning as much as I can in a fast-paced environment.
You're certainly going to get that. Those guys move incredibly fast.
Yeah, it's been hectic so far.
A handful of you at Invisible, and they move quickly, as you'll see. Sorry, not to cut off Kathy. Well, Kathy, and then.
Yeah, sounds good. Hi, everyone. My name is Kathy. I am a rising junior at the University of Michigan. I'm currently interning at the Humble Brag, an impact-driven thought leadership agency based out of Amsterdam. And I'm mainly excited to build new, sincere, and authentic relationships.
Awesome.
Did you say me next?
Yeah, Paula, you're up.
I'm Paula. I'm interning with KPI Sense, which is based out of Chicago, and I'm mostly excited to work at a company that works with financial modeling and learning more about that, since that is something that I do want to do eventually in the future.
Awesome.
Oh, and I'm from Northwestern University.
Thanks. Chase, Sierra, Paula.
Hi, I'm Chase. I'm a rising junior at Michigan. I'm from LA. I'm doing business dev for Expanse AI in Ireland, and I'm most excited because I've always wanted to have my own startup, and I've always wanted to go to Ireland, so it'd be a great opportunity for me to learn more about the culture.
Hi, I'm Sierra. I'm a rising junior also at Michigan. I'm interning with Noken, and I'm super excited to get to know my team better.
Thanks, Sierra. Paula, yeah.
Is it me?
Yeah.
Okay. Hi everyone. Oh, I'm sorry, my dad is working here. So, but yeah, I'm Paola. I'm a rising junior student at Tec de Monterrey. I'm majoring in mechatronics engineering. I'm from Monterrey, Mexico. And what I'm most excited about is probably the company I will work for this summer, which is Sierra Artificial Intelligence. I think it's a really cool and interesting like company, and like a very futuristic one. And actually being involved in all the business areas, it's really, really exciting for me. And also I'm like looking forward to attend to like the tech webinars and everything. So yeah.
Awesome. Elijah, Audrey, and Wei.
Hey guys, I'm Elijah. I'm a rising senior at Northwestern. I'm from Montreal, Canada, and I just started this week with Peanut Butter, a company based out of Chicago. And I guess I'm just excited to have my first tech role. I'm working on their software team because all my previous internships have been in finance, so it's a good change to get on the tech side of stuff.
Hi, I'm Audrey. I go to UNC Chapel Hill, which is North Carolina, and I'm working with Techless this summer, which is a company that creates software for kids on iPhones. And I'm most excited to attend the webinars this summer, as well as hear from different guest speakers that we get to hear from, which is going to be fun.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Wei, and I'm a rising third year at University of Virginia. I'm interning with Peregrine Technologies. It's a company based in Berlin, Germany. And I'm excited to just gain some real-world work experience and to learn.
Thanks, Wei. We'll go Matthew, Cesare. I think you're the only Matt, Cesare, Giselle, and Natalie.
Yeah, so I just graduated actually from Hamilton College in upstate New York. I'm interning this summer with Keg Tracker. They're based out of London. I'm looking forward to just kind of meeting new people from all over the world and get some experience.
Thanks, Matt. Giselle?
Hi everyone, I'm Giselle. I'm going to be a rising junior at Muhlenberg College in Allentown, Pennsylvania. I live in the suburbs of Chicago. I'm still figuring out where I'm being placed, but I'm excited to get a well-rounded experience at a startup.
Sweet. Natalie, Boyang, and Rohan.
Hi everybody, my name is Natalie. I'm a second year at the University of Toronto. I'm studying industrial engineering. This summer I'm going to be working with GoLogic Solutions, which is based in Chicago, and they're working on digitizing small businesses so that they can get through COVID. And something I'm excited for is working in a startup environment. I did last summer as well, and I really got to try a lot of my own projects out, and I'm a person that kind of likes a little bit of everything. So this is a chance for me to try a little bit of everything again.
Hi everyone, I'm Boyan Lee. I'm a rising senior at Cornell University.
I'll be working with Invisible Technologies. Actually, I already started at June 1st, so it's my week 3 now. It's been a lot of fun. I'm really excited about this. Thanks.
Hello, my name is Rohan. I'm a rising junior at U of M studying business in the Ross School. I recently got placed with Wealthy, a healthcare startup in San Diego, really focused on health tech and offering digital products to customers. And the thing I'm most excited for is to have the autonomy and different experience compared to my peers and to meet a great group of people.
Awesome. Thanks, Rohan. All right, Leslie, Peter, and then Mia. We'll give it another go.
Hi, everyone. So I'm from Fremont, California, and I go to Cal Poly SLO in San Luis Obispo. I'm a rising junior, and I'm excited to be interning with PackMojo in Hong Kong. And I'm excited to gain more experience in the field of supply chain and logistics and also marketing. And I'm most excited to see how my work will directly impact the company.
Hi, everyone. My name is Peter. I'm a rising senior at Northwestern University, majoring in economics and computer science. I am interning at a company called Digit that makes interfaces that allows tenants to communicate with property managers. I'm most excited to learn how startups operate under stringent fund restrictions and continue to grow under those restrictions.
Hi, I'm Mia. I'm a rising junior at Northwestern. I'm interning as a business development intern at an entertainment app called De Cabeza, based in Mexico City. I'm really excited to just do impactful work and work closely with the team.
Awesome. Thanks, Mia. And then we're Isabella, last but not least.
Hi, I'm Isabella. I go to Kobe College, which is a liberal arts college in Maine, and I'm currently still on campus in Central Maine. And this summer I'll be working with 1871, which is a Chicago-based nonprofit organization, and it is a startup incubator. So I'm really excited about that, about having experience now just in a company, not just in a startup, but in an incubator that is a collection of all kinds of resources, and I believe I'm gonna learn a lot from this experience.
Awesome. Thanks, Isabel. So you all, heard from one another, and you go to some similar schools, and we'll provide introductions to each other on Slack. Some of you are at the same company, so if you haven't engaged with each other yet, don't be afraid to be the person who's willing to reach out. We'll wrap up quickly here in a minute. We won't go too far over. I mispredicted. We took some time. Fair enough. We booked the whole hour. But the point being, don't be afraid to be the person that's willing to reach out and say hi to the others on Slack. You're all here and part of this program. And you're all, some of you are working in business development. Some of you are working with data. Some of you are working with engineering. And you might have solutions that apply to one another. So it's important that you leverage this network in itself to solve some of the problems you're solving and see what works for each other. Our team will also be providing introductions to those of you that go to the same school via Slack, so you can get to know each other and hopefully take the relationship you build this summer digitally and meet up for legal drinks on campus. Honestly, you're on campus and whatever, but and get to know each other in real life. And so we're really glad you're here. There's a handful of you that weren't able to be on the call, and so they're working with you all as well. And hopefully they'll be on future calls and you'll see their faces, but they also go to schools that you go to and are working at companies that some of you are working at as well. So we'll provide those introductions. All this to say, we're really happy to have you here. We're happy that you are all looking forward to an incredible summer and can't wait to see what you all accomplish at your respective companies. So have a great rest of the evening. Feel free to reach out to us if you all need anything. And thanks so much for taking the time and being here, and we'll be in touch.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See ya.